Hello guys and welcome back to Danganronpa. Previously, we got out of the trash room and confronted Monokuma. Now we have to find evidence of who exactly the mastermind is and put this nightmare to a close. I could hardly believe it, but somehow I ended up not getting executed. All calculated by Kyoko, no doubt. I mean, hopefully. Still, I had my life, and we still had a chance. Overall, things turned out way better than expected. Once again, I was in Kyoko's debt. You kinda trade debt back and forth, like she tossed you in the trash room, then she got you out. Then right after getting you out of danger, she puts you right back into danger, which also gets you out of danger. So I think you're even. Alright, maybe talk to you then? Kyoko, thank you. Everything I have right now is because of you. Aww,
However,
so sweet. Did you forget Sayaka already? Don't thank me just yet. The real battle is still ahead of us. Yeah, true. But still, I'm glad it worked out. I wasn't sure if the enemy would accept my proposal. Exactly, this is why, Makoto, you shouldn't be too thankful. It could have gone the other way. But honestly, why would the mastermind agree to that? I mean, they don't stand to gain anything from a final showdown, do they?
so
They had no choice but to accept. Yeah, or else there would be no show. Huh?
because
It's all because of that one moment that the mastermind let down their guard, like I said. So when was it that the mastermind let their guard down?
so
I wasn't there to hear it myself. But you remember what the mastermind said? They said they had hijacked the airwaves to broadcast our school life to the outside world, right? Yeah, they definitely said that.
listen.
And what did you think when you heard that? Pretty hard to believe, right? Well, I mean, the idea of actually taking over the airwaves seems so unbelievable. But then again, if they did do it, that means that Monokuma is held accountable to his audience. Or like his forced audience, so to speak.
Indeed.
You don't exactly read about something like that happening very often, so it's hard to imagine. In other words, that kind of thing is extremely difficult to pull off.
However,
And yet somehow, the mastermind was able to do it.
in other words,
But think of it another way. There must have been some reason they had to do something that difficult. A reason?
so
They had to show the world something, no matter the cost. Us killing each other. And they wanted to show the world.
it would seem
The mastermind has been very adamant about not killing us directly, but forcing us to kill each other. So maybe there's like a world takeover happening and the world is betting like... So if the students survive, then the mastermind doesn't get the world, but if the students all die, then that means the mastermind wins. But why would the entire world play Hunger Games, you know? It doesn't make sense right now. And all their rules and regulations were designed to encourage that. Yeah, makes sense. If those stupid regulations didn't exist, nobody would have killed anybody.
in other words,
So the mastermind's ultimate goal was to make us kill each other and show that off to the world. But why?
correct.
To prove a point, most likely. Prove a point?
Hey,
Stop repeating what she's saying if you're not gonna add anything. Makoto, we've been through this. The outside world has a name for the students of Hope Speak Academy, right? A certain concept. You're talking about hope, right?
that's right.
And for those of us who represent hope, to kill each other and sink into despair, the mastermind wants the world to see that, to try and prove that despair is better than hope. Sounds pretty shallow for a world plot, but okay. That's their goal, as the ultimate despair. What? They want to prove that despair is better than hope? I'm pretty sure they could have proved that already by killing everyone. But then again, I guess the world wasn't convinced, you know, just because you killed everyone doesn't mean despair wins. I guess. But that's ridiculous.
It's true.
You're right. It is ridiculous. Completely irrational. It's the kind of thing that nobody but those who call themselves the ultimate despair would devise. That group whose only purpose and motivation comes from despair. But is that really their only reason for making the rest of us suffer?
Makoto.
I know how angry it must make you, and yet, that same motivation is what led to the mastermind revealing their weakness. What?
In other words,
Because their goal is to broadcast this killing game to the world. The mastermind has had to be more particular than is reasonable about their own regulations. If the mastermind simply ignored their rules, this wouldn't have been a game, but a one-sided slaughter.
at the very least,
That's true. It wouldn't be much of a show. Like, if Monokuma just wanted to kill all of us, then none of this makes sense. And that's why the mastermind couldn't kill any of us themselves.
indeed.
That is precisely the reason. No matter how much they may hate what I'm doing, I haven't violated a single one of the regulations. I'm just surprised Monokuma hasn't added any. Junko broke the rules, so she was punished. But in my case, they couldn't lay a finger on me.
Right.
So instead, they tried to use the class trial, following all their proper rules to get me killed. They began a trial that didn't have a right answer, then made me out to be the killer. But even that didn't work.
It's true.
Yes, thanks to you. And due to that failure, the mastermind took yet another risk. They attempted to kill you instead, who also was not the killer. And when that fact was exposed on live TV to the entire outside world, the mastermind had to accept your suggestion.
Indeed.
To prove to the world that despair is better than hope, they have to defeat us in perfect form.
In other words,
It would only do the mastermind harm to have it shown that they'd violated their own regulations. But all of that was just a hunch, right? And you were still able to get the mastermind to accept your challenge.
however,
It's only thanks to you that we got that chance. Because you believed in me, another path opened up. So I guess that was the choice, right? The choice to follow Kyoko's lie or just let it go. So I'm pretty sure there would have been a bad end then if I pursued the lie, which I'm suddenly curious to try out. Still, I can't believe how much of the mastermind's thoughts and plans you were able to figure out. I didn't have the slightest clue.
wrong.
In the end, though, I couldn't prove any of it. It was just my reasoning. Essentially, I was making a bet. But you know, a good bet is a good bet, so just give yourself credit for it. But it looks like I got it right. This time, at least, I won the bet. She let out a quick sigh. I took it as a small sign of relief. To be honest, I haven't been that nervous in a long time. I totally couldn't tell you were nervous at all. You seemed totally confident from the moment we decided to talk to him. Well, presenting a strong demeanor is a fundamental part of negotiation and persuasion, wouldn't you say? Well, now you're just showing off. Look at that smug smile. Plus, if I'd show you my uneasiness, that would have just made you that much more uneasy. Fair. So she also didn't want to spread, nervousness to us, I guess. Yeah, you're probably right. How pathetic.
However,
Anyway, we can't relax just yet. All we've done is earn another chance to fight. We have to win this time.
correct.
Or everything we've gone through will have been for nothing. You're right. If we can't defeat the mastermind, it'll cost us our lives. There is no option except to win.
Hey.
But before we begin the final battle, we have to tell the others what's going on. True, but now we know who our real enemy is. Didn't we establish the we must fight the mastermind trope back in chapter 1 or 2? Didn't you always know who our real enemy was? All we have to do now is work together with everyone to destroy the mastermind. Work together with everyone.
However,
Is that really possible? Damn. What's wrong? Did something happen while I was gone?
anyway,
Anyway, right now we have to go find the others.
shall we go?
They're probably in the dorm somewhere. Shall we go? That we shall. That we shall. And suddenly we were greeted with error. You again. Hers that eggs pillar. Yeah, he's broken. I think the Chihiro virus is still active then. Is he broken? I suppose his emotional instability has reached its limit. AG raised to 3, for some equals sin. I actually tried reading it. Jeez, what the heck?
However,
I wonder what that was all about. I couldn't help but let out a sigh of relief. Hina. Ah!
Is that Makoto?
Never mind. It was actually everyone.
You guys!
It is! There's no two ways about it, that's Makoto!
Huh? You survived?
Jeez, you're like a stubborn little cockroach, you know that?
Oh, come on, Byakuya. Just say you're happy to see me. Don't be all tsundere like that.
I'm just asking to make sure, but you're not a ghost, right?
Not this again, Yasuhiro. Everyone was there. All my friends who had struggled together and survived. As soon as I saw their faces, I couldn't help myself. I started to tear up.
What?
Wait, what's that smell? Oh right, we were in the trash.
What the heck?
Yeah man, that seriously stinks. It's Makoto! He smells like a wet dog. I think wet dog is pretty generous from where I've been. Oh, coming from you who doesn't take a bath. Get away! Shoo! Shoo! And in a flash, my tears dried up. Oh boy.
Makoto.
There's no time to indulge in an extended happy reunion. We need to explain to everyone
Yes.
what's happened. Explain? Explain what? But is it okay that you're here? What if the mastermind catches you?
It's true.
That's related to what I have to tell you all. I need to tell you all about the last class trial. Last class trial?
In other words,
We're gonna redo Mukuro's trial.
Huh?
What? Seriously?
How about that?
You're an idiot through and through. What's the point of redoing it? Makoto killed her, right? No, I didn't do it, like I keep telling you.
wrong.
Makoto isn't the killer. And of course, it's not me or any of you. Then who is it?
I see.
What she's saying is, it was all the work of the mastermind.
Huh?
What? You're saying the mastermind killed Mukuro?
That's right.
That's right. It was all an elaborate trap contrived by the mastermind. Makoto spotted the trap in time and did what he had to do to stop it.
However,
But his decision meant that he would be the one to die.
What did you say?
You spotted the trap, did you, Makoto? That's legitimately the last things Makoto was trying to say before he got executed. You make it sound like it was easy. I just, you know.
however,
But executing Makoto, who wasn't the Blackened, is a clear violation of the school regulations. The rules state that only the Blackened is to be executed. The mastermind broke their own rules. Which is why I went and negotiated with them to have the trial one more time.
Huh?
The mastermind agreed. Does that mean they really did break the rules? They had no choice but to agree. You used the TV broadcast to gain the leverage you needed, didn't you?
correct.
Very observant of you.
Naturally.
I recall what you said at the end of the last trial. When you said, now it's the mastermind that's ensnared. That's what you were referring to.
Don't be mean!
Hey, I'm totally in the dark here. Aren't you always? Can you just listen and, don't talk? For anyone who doesn't understand, you can ask Kyoko to explain it again later. So, knowing all this, what do we do now?
About that.
It's about who killed Mukuro, right? So our job is to expose the mastermind. But there's more to it than that, correct? Yeah. For us to win this game, we have to solve every last mystery surrounding the school.
Huh?
Every last mystery? But we've been looking around all this time, and we still don't know anything, right?
Anyway,
You've probably guessed already, but if we lose this time, everyone dies.
Oh no!
Maybe you should have mentioned that up front. Everyone?
I hate you!
Hey, who said you could agree to those terms without talking to the rest of us? I'm fine with the way things are. I'm fine living here forever with Master. I, meanwhile, want to get out of here as soon as humanly possible.
anyway,
Rip Toko. Anyway, at this point, the only way for us to survive is to unravel the truth.
Interesting.
In other words, one decisive final battle. A rather interesting development, I'd say. But figuring out who the mastermind is and how they killed Mukuro and all the school's mysteries. It's a pretty tall friggin' order. Maybe, but this trial is different. We know who our enemy is now. So if we work together and search as hard as we can, I'm sure we'll solve all of these mysteries. Wow, Makoto giving off pro-tag vibes, sounding like Sora here. I'm not so sure about that. Wow, thanks Kyoko, thanks for the vote of confidence. I can't agree with the idea of working together with everyone. Why? This is our best chance. You can't agree? Why not? I mean, working together with everyone seems like the most obvious way to solve all the mysteries.
indeed.
That's what I thought too, at first. Until Monokuma gave us that little hint of his. Hint? It's a very polarizing approach, I know. Anyway, here's a hint. I'm sure I told you this already, but this killing game began with 16 participants. Oh, okay, so the hint was the mastermind is a student. That's the hint. Alright.
I see.
Monokuma said that, did he? Then Kyoko's opinion is perfectly reasonable. Huh? But why?
So in other words...
If the mastermind really is the one who killed Mukuro, as Kyoko says, then the mastermind would have had to set foot in the school, right? Monokuma could probably murder Mukuro, but there's no way he could have disguised the scene like that.
In other words...
But according to Monokuma, the only people who have set foot in Hope Speak Academy are the 16 students who have been taking part in the killing game. Then the mastermind is... It's one of us. There were 15 of us in the main hall at the very beginning. Add in Mukuro and you get 16. So the mastermind would have to be one of them?
That's right.
And of those 16 people we started out with, the only ones still alive are the people standing right here. Need I continue, or do you get it now? What? You're saying the mastermind is one of us?
No way!
You can't be serious. I mean, it's the only logical conclusion. I don't know, call it hindsight, but it seems like the natural way that this plot could twist itself, you know? I don't know, maybe I just read too much or watch too much anime or something. Monokuma might have just said all that to confuse us.
Indeed.
It's certainly a possibility, but only one among many. The mastermind being one of us is also a possibility. And that is one possibility we can't ignore. Yeah, they're an ultimate, right? The ultimate despair. So they must be a high schooler. You can't say it's not possible. But if one of us was the mastermind, you'd have to be controlling Monokuma somehow, right? But did you ever see anyone acting suspicious anytime Monokuma was active?
Well...
Maybe they snuck off and controlled him in secret. But there are a lot of times where Monokuma is acting and all of you are in the same place.
But...
Unless it's like pre-recorded actions, but then Monokuma was responding, so I don't see how. I don't care how sneaky you are. We would have noticed someone sneaking off that many times.
I'm right?
Then maybe Monokuma was an autopilot. Maybe they loaded up all the dialogue and actions beforehand. Yeah, that was I was thinking, but then he was replying. In that case, there's no way he could have had all those back and forth conversations with us. Well, it wouldn't be entirely impossible if they directed the flow of the conversation. Fair. I'll give you that. Well, maybe, but still. Are we really still gonna have the evening cycle? We are. We really are.
This is a school announcement.
Oh no, it's different.
You've all probably figured this out by now, but at this point, the killing game has now entered true ending mode.
Oh, come on. That is... Well, at least I know I'm on the true ending, but come on, game. That's pretty meta of you.
So, in the name of fairness, I will unlock every room in the school.
Oh, sugoi.
Look wherever you want. Solve the mystery in whatever way you see fit.
Can we go into your room?
Then we can all meet up at the class trial, okay?
Monokuma must be super confident to unlock every door. You totally didn't have to do that, How very magnanimous of him to unlock all the rooms.
That's fine.
The time for talk is done. Now we need to begin our investigation. But I was planning on working alone from the beginning anyway.
In the name of my family.
At this point, I can rely only on myself, on the Togami blood flowing through my veins. I have no time to worry about the rest of you. Each of you must uphold your responsibility.
Goodbye.
Well then, after making his final statement, Byakuya left the dining hall. Master! He didn't take me with him. What part of alone don't you understand?
Hey.
Do you blame him? Rip. Without Master, the rest of you are like coffee with cream without the cream, or coffee. So we're nothing? No, we're not totally useless. Would still be a cup. So bye. With that, Toko trudged out of the dining hall. And now she's gone. And you're gonna go off by yourself, right, Kyoko?
Indeed.
That's right. Which just leaves Makoto, Hina, and me.
You know?
Wow. What, just to keep theme, is that why? In that case, I'm gonna go by myself too.
Just a second.
Wait, how come?
How about that?
Just wait and see. I'm gonna use my totally awesome spirit power to figure out the mastermind's identity. Are you gonna do tarot readings in your room to figure out who it is? Yeah, you go do that, Yasuhiro. Laughing loudly, Hiro left the dining hall.
Aww.
Everyone's gonna really go off by themselves? What about you, Hina? I guess I'll do the same thing.
But,
I mean, it's not that I don't trust everyone, But up till now, I haven't really been all that useful. True. I just depended on Sakura and everyone else. You're not useless. If you hadn't been here, I would have died. How? When?
huh?
Why? Makoto! That's really nice of you to say. But still, I know I've mostly been totally useless.
Okay.
So I figure, at least here at the end, maybe I can find something that will help us all get out of here. So I'm gonna go off and do it all on my own. Okay, see you later. Hina was in surprisingly high spirits as she dashed out of the dining hall. And once again, it's just us two.
Indeed.
Well, at least I got the best partner, right? So you're gonna go off on your own too, right, Kyoko?
However,
Well, don't misunderstand. Just because we're going to do our searches separately doesn't mean we can't still work together.
So,
That goes for all of us. I think I see what you mean. Doing our own investigating doesn't mean we can't work together in the end. Yeah, I mean, if we all find different things, it wouldn't really hamper the investigation. I should just see it as splitting up to cover more ground, I guess. And then we can get back together and share what we found. Yeah, that's right. Wow, you're very, very optimistic there, Makoto.
so then,
Well, I better get going. I have an endless list of things I need to check.
correct.
Monokuma said that all the doors in the school had been unlocked, right? So we should be able to investigate every nook and cranny in the school. We can visit all the places we couldn't go before.
Makoto.
No matter what it takes, we have to uncover the truth. By any means necessary. With that, Kyoko was gone, leaving only me. I don't have time to waste either. I have to begin my search. Still can't believe, so we have to do this. Alright. Investigate. Alright, since we have the whole school, I'm just gonna be jumping to the relevant areas or something interesting I find. But also if I see someone I can talk to and all. I guess I'll start by taking another look at Mukuro's Monokuma file. Okay, due to the explosion, dead before the blast. Victim was stabbed a single time. Okay, we established that already. And struck with the arrows, I suppose. Body was covered in other wounds. Okay. Once we found out who killed Mukuro Ikusaba, then we'll know who the mastermind is. So where should I start my investigation to figure out who killed her? I guess I should start with the rooms that were locked up until now. The headmaster's room, the biolab. Okay, all the locked doors basically is where we need to go. Oh, and the second floor of the dorms. Right, okay, that should be open now. After that, I'll have to double check the area. So basically everywhere. Everywhere in the past case and everywhere that's unlocked now. Alright. Which means the garden, the dojo. Okay, time to get started. Places to check. Wow, the game gives you a list just in case you forget. Alright, let's do this. Boop. Alright, so I was just doing my rounds and I found Toko in the dojo. Oh, Toko, this is where you were.
What do you want?
I'm so disgusting. You want me out of your sight? No, that's not it at all. I just thought maybe you'd found a clue. Well, I haven't. Well, you're useless. I didn't find anything. Not a single clue. I figured since this place was related to the case, it would have something right. But there wasn't anything out of the ordinary here. Give it back. Give it back, my precious time. That doesn't work that way. But okay. Calm down, Toko.
What's your problem?
Don't tell me to calm down. Don't you have any idea what I'm going through right now? When everyone finds out, they're gonna call me useless. Good for nothing. Nobody's gonna say that. Master will. He always says that anyway. No point wondering about it now. I'm not sure I can disagree with that. Toko, you're not. I mean, Makoto, you're not helping. I don't want that. I'm sick of always being looked down on. Why won't anyone accept me? Well, I don't think there are any clues here, so maybe I gotta get going. Also, technically, you look down on yourself. So I don't know. You keep putting words in other people's mouths, even though we don't really say anything about it. Oh, look, free coin. Well, at least I know why I came in here. Anyway, be right back. Catch you when there's something else interesting. Boop. What? Huh? It's gone. Mukuro's body. Hey, that's cheat. Well, I guess Monokuma thought the trial was over, so I guess it's not cheating, but kind of lame that the body's gone. It's not here. I mean, clearly. The Monokuma flower. Okay, not related to the case anyway. Let's see if there's anything else here. If not, well, it's gonna be another jump skip. Alright, so the tarp in here is apparently something of interest. I better look into it. But didn't we already establish this? Isn't this already done? Right, the killer used... Okay, so there's another clue here. Oh, Biolab. There's a brand. I didn't notice this before, but there's a small stamp on one corner of the tarp. Sharp. It says Biolab. Then that already originally came from the Biolab. Alright. Let's keep going, shall we? I guess that's the clue. We need to go to the Biolab next. Unless, oh, dialogue. That's all I really need to check here. But where could the body have gone? I better start looking for it. Can we just check this, the obvious one? Oh wait, okay, not related, so that's not it. Alright, so clearly the body isn't here, so yeah, I think it's gonna be a jump skip. Alright, let's check out the Biolab. Interesting. It's a morgue. Well, here I am in the Biolab. Why would you have a morgue in a school? It's so cold. Like abnormally cold. I feel like I'm in a giant refrigerator. Seriously, why is it so cold? Maybe it's because you are in a giant refrigerator. I don't know, man. Camera. Oh, here's the tarp. The one we saw in the garden. There's a stack of tarps here. I've been seeing a lot of these recently. That you have. That you have. It's so cold. Why is it so cold here? That's the first thing I need to figure out. There's some kind of weird machine or something built into the wall. On the left side is a bunch of glowing blue lights. But on the other side... Oh, these are empty. These are for us, isn't it? That's some kind of weird machine or something built into the wall. I've seen something like that before. Oh, that's it. I've seen this kind of thing in horror movies and stuff. Well, at least you caught on eventually, right? It's a fridge for storing dead bodies. Does this mean that this biolab is actually a morgue? I should probably take a closer look around. There's some kind of weird machine. Alright. Oh, okay. The right-hand lights are off. Okay, so we're done with that. What else then? Can we re-talk to you? Oh, there's some kind of booklet here. It looks like an instruction manual. We offer an eco-friendly alternative to standard dry ice for all your cadaver needs. How nice of that. How nice of this company. In addition to the germicidal lamps, we also provide an ozone generator for the removal of ethylene gas. Simply insert the cadaver and the blue light will let you know that the automated systems have activated. That's good to know. That means, are all of our classmates in there? Temperature and humidity levels will be adjusted automatically for the optimum settings. With our system, anyone can keep a body fresh. Why am I even reading this seriously? Alright, so red is a problem. The exterior is stainless steel. Okay, there's an instruction manual for the fridge. It's some kind of makeshift morgue. And about those lights by each slot. It looks like it's set up so that when a slot is occupied, the blue light comes on. Yeah. All our friends are in here. I can't let my emotions take control right now. There's only one thing I can do for everyone who's died. And that's defeat the mastermind. I don't have any other option. How many of us are left? Makoto, Kyoko, Byakuya, Toko, Hina, Yasuhiro. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Where's the other? There's one body that's missing. Oh no. So I was right. One of us is still alive. Oh boy. I wonder who it is though. I mean, I kind of have an idea who it is, but then again, not really. Because if you guys remember, Mukuro had fake nails. And the fake nails were for Junko. They look like Junko's fake nails, so... Anyway, let's check out the second floor of dorms, shall we? The gate's open. We can finally check out the second floor of the dorms. Which means I have to do it. What happened here? This is the second floor of the dorms? It looks like a war zone. It looks like some ancient ruins. Or no, it's more like a battlefield. Like a bomb blew up here or something. What? So most of the rooms are not accessible apparently, except for that one. Huh, interesting. Yeah. What happened here? Well, it looks like our normal rooms, but you know, extremely destroyed version. This bed is completely torn apart. I mean, it's not even really a bed anymore. It's just garbage. Garbage with coins, apparently. I opened the door just a crack, glanced inside, and immediately closed it again. Why? What's wrong? Oh, there wasn't even a hint of a bathroom, just a big pile of rubble. That's it? Is that all we can... What are these giant holes too? It's like... Well, the windows are still plated over. I guess that hasn't changed, but still. What's the deal? Why is there a giraffe in your locker? What was up with that? This room is filled with lockers. It must have been for the Hope Speak students who came before us. The class before ours must have used these lockers. Hopefully not in this state. Wow, we can check everything. There's a small metal plate on the locker. Alright. Sure, man. Coins, whatever. I can't imagine any way to get this locker open. Which locker then? Can't imagine. Man, Makoto, have you heard of a wrench? Metal plate? No. I don't think. Well, there's coins there. You know that you just go for the center. It might be a thing. It looks like this locker is already broken. I wonder if I can open this locker. Rattle, rattle. Nope. Locked. So there's a card reader. Okay, so I guess I need to find a card reader. Pretty similar to the card readers for the locker rooms on the second floor. And you have to use your e-handbook books to open those up. So does that mean... Well, let's just give it a try. Yeah, I mean... What's there to lose, right? I took out my handbook and it ran across the card reader. And then... Alright, so no, you can't use your own. No luck. Maybe only the locker's owner can open it, which means none of us can do it. We need a locker, right? We need an e-handbook for this, right? Okay, I have a theory, but we'll go test that theory later. Let's finish off these lockers for now. I wonder if I can open this locker. Because remember, when someone dies, their e-handbook goes to the lobby. And since Mukuro died, her handbook has to be in the lobby. Anything else? This place is ominous. It's like half a horror movie here. Egyptian eye? Blood? Oh, come on, game. What's out there? Technically, you're supposed to see the outside world if this is true, but I guess behind the wall is more wall, so whatever. Ooh, fancy. Let me guess, Kyoko's in here. This room doesn't really feel like a student's room. It's more adult atmosphere.
Correct.
It's the headmaster's private room. I knew it. This would be the room she'd be checking. Kyoko!
Indeed.
I've been through this room several times already, but I still have one little regret. So I decided to check it out one more time. Huh? A regret? I'm just gonna click it. It's so obvious. There is an indent. Yeah, there's a gap in the wall. Huh? There's a gap in the wall. It's some kind of design mistake or construction defect? Nah.
So...
That's a secret door, if I ever saw one. There's a gap here, but not just any normal gap. I can feel a breeze coming out. A breeze?
Indeed.
There's likely an open space on the other side of this wall. Open space? Does that mean? You mean like a hidden room? I think I might know how to open it. You know how to open it? Did you figure out some kind of trick or something?
Indeed.
A very easy trick, yes. So easy, I'm not sure you can even call it a trick. I saw a program on that PC that I think controls it. Enter the right password, and the door should open right up.
However...
But I don't have a clue what the password might be. All we know is it's probably made up of letters and or numbers. We can't really go from there. You're right, that's not nearly enough to go on.
It's true.
I looked through all his paperwork, all the files on the PC, everything I could think of. I learned more about him than I had any desire to, but nothing that might have been his password. When I think of how much time I wasted on this, then just don't think about it. Alright, wait, I'm gonna check the lobby for a hot second and I'll just come back here if I'm wrong. Cause I just want to get that out of the way cause it's nagging me right now. Alright, so never mind. Apparently you can't leave this room until you're done with the investigation here. So whatever. There's a PC on the desk. It must have belonged to the headmaster.
It would seem...
Whoever used this last, it looks like they were very interested in the ultimate despair. The PC still has some search results left on it. Then we might be able to get some info on the ultimate despair.
However...
There's not much though, nothing we don't already know.
In other words...
The ultimate despair isn't one individual, but instead points to some kind of group. That group is responsible for the tragedy which happened 1 year ago. They were the worst sorts of people whose driving force comes from despair.
However...
And that's all there is, not much to it, is there? But I guess that's the best he could do as a complete Kirigiri failure. Oof! That came out of nowhere. I was not expecting that. But any information about the mastermind is helpful, right? I appreciate whatever info we can get our hands
Correct.
on. I see. That's a good outlook to have. Shadow people has been added to the truth bullet section of your handbook. Jeez. So there's a hidden room she couldn't get into. That's what she meant by regret. I think we can assume that there must be some kind of clue waiting in there. But maybe for her, there's more to it than that. Anyway, if we want to get in there, we need to figure out the password. And if Kyoko can't figure it out, no way do I stand a chance. No, wait, there might be a chance. The password could be something Kyoko wouldn't have thought of, or something she didn't want to think of. For example... Oh, come on, man. Ouch. Ouch. That hurts. Like, you didn't want to think the guy cares about you, and then the password is your name. What about your name?
What?
Huh? Oh, sorry. I was just trying to think of what the password might be. I'm sure she's tried it. I mean, it's totally understandable. After the way she talked about her dad, the idea he would use her name as his password. Knowing how she is, I bet the idea never even occurred to her. Do you mind if I try it, just to be sure?
Well?
It's not like you need my permission. If you want to try it. Do whatever you want. Okay. I'm sorry, Kyoko, this is gonna be awkward. You know, I'm glad I thought of trying Kyoko's name. But if that's not it, that might just hurt Kyoko even more.
Hey.
If you're worried about me, Makoto, don't be. I already know what your guess is wrong. Really now? Okay. In that case, here goes nothing. And it's gonna work, isn't it? I collect myself. You don't need to collect yourself to type her name! Makoto! Then turn to face the computer monitor. Let me just type the password here. I typed in her full name, Kyoko Kirigiri. My hands were tense, slightly trembling as I finished typing it in. Awkward. What? That did it? Kyoko, it worked! I don't think she's very happy about that.
Why?
I don't know, man. Maybe he actually did care about you. Kyoko? Without looking at me, she disappeared into the hidden room. She looked grim. Kyoko! And there's a present, come on, don't be like that. And there's that awkward picture in the back too. Hey Kyoko! I may as well not have been in the room. Her gaze was fixed on only one thing. A present? Wrapped and covered with such joy. Surprise, there's probably gonna be despair inside. That's what made it so unusual. Okay, fine. Railroaded again, as usual. There's a brightly colored box here. It seems totally out of place in here. The more I look at it, the more suspicious I get. Should we open it? I'm kind of getting a bad vibe from it. But I mean, we can't not open it. Fair. Okay.
Makoto.
Be careful, Makoto. It could be a bomb. The mastermind could be the Joker, you know. Why? You think it's dangerous? No, it's not dangerous. But surprising, probably. Huh?
It would seem...
If it is what I think it is, at the very least, it's not something you'd be happy to see. Wait, so you know what's in there?
Anyway...
Just don't scream or anything, okay? Are you saying it's something to... Skip! There we go. Step by step, I approached the box. I took a deep breath, then took a hold of the lid. Slowly, ever so slowly, I lifted it up. Light began to sneak its way into the box. I stole a hesitant glance inside and... Good. She just told you not to scream! Kyoko's advice was no use. I let out a trembling cry. It's a skull. It's Skeletor. What was in the box? It was bones. Human bones. It was the last thing I expected to find in such a bright, joyful box. I mean, who could have possibly imagined? Clearly, Kyoko, she just told you.
I see.
Just as I thought. What? Just as you thought? How could you have known that? I mean, there were bones in there. Human bones.
Wrong.
Well, it's not that I was thinking of the bones specifically. I just had a feeling it would be his body. That's pretty much the same thing. A dead guy in a box. To be fair, my father... Huh? What about him?
Correct.
What you found in the box. Those bones. That body. That's my father. Well, talking about meeting the in-laws. Extremely awkward here. Or at least, what's left of him. Are you serious? Well, at least you don't need to say hi to the parents, Makoto. You can go date Kyoko straight, I guess? This is Kyoko's dad. The same man she's been searching for. Pretty sure it's not the same man, but you know, same idea. Hold on, how can you know that for sure? How do you know it's him?
So...
Given all the information we have already, that's the only possible answer. So that same person may have been, well, the mastermind who planned this all out. Also, it was in a room with your name on it. It was in the headmaster's room, so it was locked, it was sealed, it was a secret, so the only one who could have been in there was the headmaster. But then again, who put him in the box? Because he obviously can't put himself in the box. And according to the files, the headmaster is a man in his late 30s. It seems possible, even likely, that he's somewhere in the school right now. It's a very polarized... Yeah, okay. Yeah, it was combined with the fact that no one else came into the school anyway. Alter Ego said that the headmaster was probably here in the school. But the only ones who were alive at the start of the killing game were us 16 students. Yep. So if you were gonna find someone, it'd be dead. He or she would be dead. When you put those two ideas together, it doesn't take much to assume...
In other words...
that most likely my father was in the school, but he was also dead. That's my assumption anyway. As Kyoko explained her analysis, she was completely calm. Or no, she wasn't calm. She was only trying to seem calm. Maybe you should give her a hug? I think now is hug time. She said it was just as she thought, so she knew it was a possibility. But I have to believe that at some point, she wanted to be proven wrong. Which is why she never looked in the box herself, even though she had plenty of chances. I know Kyoko said she wanted to see her father so she could cut off all ties. Well, there you have it. Can't cut the ties any more than this. But was there all there was to it? I gave up on some of that hope. Yeah, exactly. She tried so hard, so it couldn't just be just to cut ties, Would she really give up her pride just for that? I couldn't help but wonder. That is pretty HD. Why did you have to make the skull box HD? Hidden room president has been... Let's just go straight for the obvious then. Huh? This picture. Oh, Chibi Kirigiri. It's all faded. It must be pretty old. Wait, this is a picture of... Hey, Kyoko! Oh boy. Yeah, she's not gonna take that well.
Why would you?
Well, this is annoying. I came here to cut myself free of the past. And yet the past seems to refuse to let go. And yet, it's right here. The past is right here. I'm sorry, Kyoko. Maybe you had the wrong idea. To now find something like this. So what do you expect me to do now? Then I was right. It's a picture of Kyoko when she was a little girl. Knowing that the headmaster had this picture all this time, he must have really cared about her.
Why?
Why? What? I wanted to face him and tell him myself, to cut him out of my life for abandoning me. That's the whole reason I came here. And now he's abandoned me again. Ugh, the feels, bro. The feels. And this time he even sold the only opportunity I had to move on. Has there ever been a worse father? Kyoko. I wonder how that's gonna factor into the investigation though, because they're becoming truth bullets. I mean, technically, I guess it's part of the Secrets of Hope speak, but, how do you weave that into the trial? The headmaster's desk. It's probably hiding some kind of clue, so I really want to check it out, but I really don't want to touch Kyoko's dad's desk without her permission.
Hey.
Don't worry about me. Feel free to look around as much as you like. And somehow, everything I touch hurts you anyway. So you saying that doesn't really compute, but okay.
Because...
Never get anything in the way of the investigation. I don't. Were you Yoda? Were you Yoda there for a second? Never let getting... Hang on. Never let anything get in the way of the investigation. I don't. Okay. Okay then, if you don't mind. Starting from the top, I opened all the desk drawers and looked inside. I rummaged through each one, finding nothing but unrelated documents. But in the last drawer, it's an e-handbook! This probably opens everything. Huh? Is this? It's an e-handbook, right? And it has a label on it that says in case of emergency. Okay, so we don't need the e-handbooks from the lobby then. I'd find some kind of emergency handbook in the headmaster's desk.
In other words,
a handbook with no limitations given to the school's ultimate authority, the headmaster. I'm assuming that's what this is. I think you're probably right.
it would seem...
It might prove useful as we continue our investigation. Why don't you hold on to it? Huh? But Kyoko... I don't need it. If you don't want it, go ahead and leave it here. Then guess I'll take it. She seems so disheartened, it's like she doesn't want to investigate anymore. Is it really okay? Headmaster's e-handbook has been added to the truth bullets.
Hey.
Listen, Makoto... Huh? Can I ask you a favor? A favor? What is it?
So...
I know it's completely unreasonable to ask you this, and I know it'll only inconvenience you that much more, but...
Hey.
Could you leave? Okay, well, I can take a hint, but I guess this also means that there's nothing left in here. Huh?
Correct.
Just for a little while. I'd just like to be alone for a bit. Kyoko, don't worry, I'm fine. I just need to calm down a little.
Just a second.
I need to get my emotions in order. You know, Kyoko, you told me before about the relationship you had with your dad. How you're only connected by blood, not by heart and soul. But maybe that picture motivated him. Maybe he hoped to see me again someday. Is that what you were going to say? If so, it's just a theory. Sounds like a pretty good theory to me, Kyoko. And this isn't an issue that can be settled with theories. That picture doesn't change the facts of what happened, what I went through. But it does change your perspective. That problem can't be solved so easily. You're right, I'm sorry.
Anyway...
Once I've got myself under control, I'll return to the investigation immediately. So please, just give me some time to myself. Okay, I understand. Then, I'll see you later. Is she really okay? Kyoko, it must have been a complete shock to her. I mean, it was a shock to me. To find out what happened to the headmaster. There's no doubt that the mastermind performed that evil deed. Well, it was pretty skulls and bony, so if it was only a few weeks ago, I'm pretty sure that the mastermind couldn't have done that. Unless they did it last year, like during the tragedy. They killed the headmaster, killed Kyoko's father. They killed him. The headmaster is dead. The one leading the Hope Speak staff, the one who finalized the plan to isolate you, was the Hope Speak headmaster. So that same person may very well be the mastermind who planned all this out. And according to the files, the headmaster is a man in his late 30s. Why do you have to keep repeating the not useful sections? But we were wrong about that. The headmaster wasn't the mastermind. Which means the mastermind's true identity is... Yes, it's one of the 16. 15 of us met in the main hall. Add Mukuro to the mix and you get 16. And including me, only 6 of us are still alive. Everyone else is dead. Even Mukuro. Even she's undeniably dead. So the ones still left alive are... Do we really need a recap of this though? Me, Byakuya, Hiro, Toko, Hina, and Kyoko. Only those 6 people are still alive. Then there's no question. Wait, no, that can't be. I refuse to believe it. There has to be some other way. There just has to be. I don't know, man. I'm already thinking of the other way. Like, I'm pretty sure someone's not dead. That's what I'm thinking. Alright, let's open these up. I wonder if we can open his locker. No. Yep, alright. Give it one more try. Took the emergency handbook and ran that across the card reader and beep. Alright, just what I was hoping for. Now let's see what we got inside. Hiro? Is this he? This looks like... Hang on. This looks like a Hiro locker. Whoever... I saw that. Whoever owns this locker has organization problems. This is a crystal ball. Huh? A crystal ball? No, it can't be. There's no way he ever used this locker. Just accept it. Mondo's pickaxe is in the tool shed. The crystal ball is here. There are pictures of us everywhere. You know. There's all kinds of textbooks and notebooks stacked up in no particular order. And dust is everywhere. I have to assume whoever stuff this is didn't do a lot of studying. Not that I can really talk. Rip Hiro. Trying to act as casual and natural as always, I picked up one of the notebooks I saw. But the moment I looked inside the notebook, any sense of easiness I may have had evaporated. Why? What? There was no denying what I saw. Oh, it says Yasuhiro Hagakure. Inside the notebook was written Yasuhiro Hagakure. Is this our Yasuhiro? Who else? The notebook also contained a large number of notes for a variety of different classes. That is chemistry if I ever saw it. Chemistry or biology, because it looks like inheritance, I think. Which would mean he attended classes here? No, that can't be possible. Come on, Makoto, just accept it. And we were all sucked into this evil world. We never had the chance to take any classes. So what is this notebook? Locker room notebook has been added to the truth bullets. Oh, there's another one over here. Is this a deck of playing cards? No, they're tarot cards. But wait, aren't those used for... No, it's not a coincidence. Are all the remaining lockers one for each of us? Don't tell me. What? Nothing? Looks like the locker opened. Okay, so there's no clues in there. I took the emergency locker. Looks like the card opened. Just one thing, huh? This thing is practically empty. Some kind of pocketbook. I don't see a name written on it, so I can't say for sure who it really was. I don't like... Yeah, now is not the time to violate privacy or not. This is an investigation. It looks like a girl's handwriting, and all the letters are spaced out evenly, like whoever wrote them was measuring them. Whoever wrote this must have been really meticulous. Huh? I was flipping through the pocketbook, but my hand froze when I got to a certain page. I saw something familiar there, written in words I'd heard before. There's a plan to turn Hope's Peak Academy into a shelter and isolate the students here in a communal life. Look at this face, super shocked. I decided to talk to the one who came up with the plan directly. Oh my gosh, it's Kyoko's! It just so happens to be the headmaster and my father. He was willing to give me some more details regarding the plan. Here's what he said. The point is to keep our student prodigies safe, to keep them as hope for the future. Only their genius can overcome disaster. Only their hope can overcome despair. For the future of our country, our world, it's not an exaggeration to call this our final hope. We must isolate our superior youth from the corrupted world to serve as the foundation of a new era. This is the only hope we have. I hope that you'll be willing to go along with this plan. So that's what my father had to say to me. As usual, he made a selfless decision without asking anyone else. I can't imagine a worse father. Oh boy. This can't be true, can it? How many pieces of evidence do you need to see, Makoto? Why does the MC have to be this dumb? But I knew it was, and I knew exactly who the pocketbook belonged to. Kyoko. It can't be anyone else. But if this belongs to Kyoko, what was it doing in this locker? Yep. I decided to talk to the one who came up with the plan directly. It just so happened. Yeah, we just read this. You don't need to keep repeating stuff. What does this all mean? I quickly scanned the remaining pages of the notebook. I must have been looking for something that would prove me wrong about this whole thing. But when I reached the last page, the question marks spinning through my mind just started spinning that much faster. When I looked at it, unlike the rest of the pocketbook, the writing here was messy, disorganized, scrawled. That was ominous. There was a second despair, and despair walks among us. What is this? What does it mean? I have no idea. How could this possibly make any sense? Locker pocketbook has been added to the truth bullet section of your handbook. But the more I see, the less it makes sense. Because these lockers, I mean, they had to belong to the previous students, right? So why am I seeing this? Why are there things in the lockers that look like they belong to people here? Yeah, the amnesia theory is legit what's going on here. A notebook that seems that it belongs to Hiro. A pocketbook that seems to belongs to Kyoko. There has to be some kind of explanation. But if I want to find that out, I have to keep moving the investigation forward. And I have to believe everyone. Alright, so where else? Where else do we go? We're done, aren't we? Anyway, jump skip to when I find something to do. Alright, so here's a place I forgot to check actually. Oops. Oh, hi,
Hey,
Hina.
Makoto.
Ah, Makoto! Are you here to look around too? Is that what you're doing here? Yeah, I can't help but wonder about that Monokuma door. So I figured, if all the doors in the school had been unlocked, that one should be open too, right?
But,
Although I couldn't bring myself to open it. Well, fair, cause it might explode, right? And that really sucks, so you open it. So what if it explodes on me? Is that any better? I'm sure she didn't mean it, but she made it sound like she was okay with me getting blown up. Yeah, let's just head for it. Okay, so I guess I'll open it. Oh wait, let me take cover first. I don't want to get exploded. To be fair, Toko survived getting exploded, so it might not be as deadly. Hina raced over to a nearby desk and hid underneath it. Okay, go ahead. Everything will be okay, right? Alright, here goes nothing. I threw all my weight into it, but the door opened much easier than I expected. Whoa. Whoa. What is this? Is this a Gundam pilot thingy? Look, the side panel look like they're from Star Trek. There was no explosion, thankfully. My first impression was... Whoa, this place is totally sci-fi. Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. Alright. Is this how you control Monokuma? So when the mastermind was like fighting with Sakura, she was like doing a legit gamer move by controlling Monokuma with this. What is this device? It looks like some sort of control panel. It's really over the top though, like some kind of military installation or something. Yeah, it looks like a mech cockpit, right? Exactly what I was thinking. Hifumi would probably freak out if he saw it. Cockpit? So the Monokuma room is a control panel that looks like some kind of cockpit. Then could that mean?
Okay.
Alright, let's start poking it or whatever. I'm gonna start pushing buttons. No, please don't. Hold on, you can't just... Or whatever, something like this. You might detonate all the Monokumas at the same time. But it was too late. Hina was already jabbing away at the control panel. Rip us all. Huh? Did you hear? Really? The sound effect is a button? Huh? Did you hear that? Yeah, I think it came from the other room. Hina, what did you push? I'm not totally sure, but I think it was that one. The button that says data center. Oh, it activates a certain Monokuma in the room. Data center. I took a good look at the control panel and saw a bunch of buttons, each with the name of the room next to it. And just like Hina said, there was the one labeled data center. That must be the one she pushed. But the data center, that's right next door. The room we were just in, that's where the strange noise came from. I'd probably go better check it out. Yeah, yes please, I'm kinda scared of my mind right now, so I'll just cheer you on from over here. But you're the one who started pushing all the buttons. Alright, let's check it out. Then Monokuma's gonna be there, and we're gonna talk about how the control center is what's controlling Monokuma. Did I just hear what I think I heard? Yeah, it's right there. Is that Monokuma? I mean, I'm pretty sure it's Monokuma. Hey! Grar? Grar, give me all your donuts! Is that you, Hina?
What?
What? Oh man, busted! How did you know?
Say what?
Anyway, what is this? Some kind of remote-controlled camera kind of setup? You don't even know what you're controlling.
Hello.
Well, I mean, I can't really see anything from in here.
Found it.
Ah, guess what? I found a self-destruct button. No. Whatever you do, don't push it.
Too bad.
Aw, man. Were you seriously gonna push it? Anyway, I guess that settles it. The room with the Monokuma drawing on it and the control panel inside controls all the Monokumas. You know... Whoa, hey Makoto, what the heck was that just now? Monokuma. Huh? What do you mean? What you were controlling just now, it was Monokuma. Monokuma? What, for real? Yup, it looks like that panel definitely controls Monokuma. Which means the mastermind has been controlling Monokuma from this room. Yeah, they were definitely in here. The mastermind has been controlling the Monokuma from this room. And this control room is totally separate from the data center with all the monitors. In other words...
Hey,
Yeah, he can't monitor us and control Monokuma at the same time. Kyoko's theory was right. But if the mastermind's been controlling Monokuma from here... Oops, I skipped that. But if that is true... Sorry, I skipped it. Now we will never know. Then the mastermind, Monokuma's puppeteer, really is the 16th student. Yeah. That means, I think what Hina was trying to say, that means the mastermind had to be in here physically. No, it can't be. There's no way, right? Monokuma control room has been added to the truth bullet section of your handbook. What's wrong, Makoto? I don't like that face you're making. Oh no, it's nothing. Oh, okay. What about you? Is everything okay? Let me guess. You're hungry for donuts. Oh well, it's just that this is where the mastermind's been hiding, right? Who knows if they set up traps or something? A bit too late to worry about that now. I can't say it's impossible, but I really hope it's not true. So you wanna leave soon? There's still lots of other places to check out. Yeah, good point. We can't waste all our time standing around here. Okay, you wanna get going? Yeah. The mastermind's down there. The mastermind is down there, cause literally, legit, the mastermind has nowhere else to hide. Everywhere is open except for this thing. So whoever the mastermind is right here. But of course, the game won't let us solve it that easy. We have to go through the steps. Click. As soon as the door to the data center was closed, I heard a strange sound. It was the mastermind coming out of the trap door. What was that? Ah, the door! It just locked on its own. What? My hand shot out to grab the doorknob. Rattle, rattle. You're right, it's locked. But why? Of course course it's locked because the data center is now restricted. Monokuma.
Just a second.
Hey, no fair. You can't just go restricting whatever you feel like.
Hey,
It's for your benefit. Because if that room stays open, I won't be able to move around. You were so close, you goddamn idiot. Imagine how depressed everyone would get if the school mascot just up and stopped moving. Then that room.
Yep.
You may have guessed that's where my controls are. So right now, you're being operated by someone in that room?
Yes, indeed.
Correct, Amundo.
You're a liar.
But that doesn't make any sense. We were just in there and we didn't see anyone. Oh, you didn't, did you? Are you sure you were as thorough as you could have been? Did you happen to check a certain suspicious hatch? No way! The hatch on the floor. Too bad, that was your one big chance and you blew it. Yep.
Too bad.
Of course, that hatch can't be opened from the outside anyway, so whatever. Okay then, so we had no choice. Now then, this room is officially restricted, so no more investigating. I'll be relying on you guys to tell the others. Peace. Peace. He's gone, but...
So,
Was he telling the truth? I mean, there's no other way, right? The mastermind was hiding in there. In fact, if you think back to when we got locked out of the control room, that proves it for sure.
Huh?
Then, when I said we should leave, well, that hatch couldn't have been opened from the outside. You could have starved the mastermind by sitting on it forever. So it's not your fault.
Sorry.
Okay. Anyway, we don't have to let it get to us when we have to stay positive and make the most of the time we have left. You're right. If there is one thing I'm good at, it's keeping my body moving. Okay, I'm gonna run around and tell everyone what we found here. Nice, you got me all motivated
got
again. Okay, I'm out. See you later. Hina took off at a full sprint. And I have to do what I can too. That's the only way forward. Alright then. Headmaster time. Nice carpet, very flowery. Such wow. This is the headmaster's room. I've heard an awful lot about it, but this will be my first time seeing it for myself. Ah, Makoto, it's you. Oh, Byakuya! Well, that was short. It's another sword? There are trophies and even a shield in the display case. There's another katana in here. There are documents scattered all over the floor. Somehow it makes me feel anxious. The bookshelf seems really well made, and it's filled with files and thick books.
Come on.
Hey, Makoto.
Not possible.
Are you ignoring me? You think I'll forgive that just because you're you?
Such ignorance.
When we get out of here, remember this moment. I don't know, I was thinking you were gonna ignore me anyway, that's why I did go for you, but okay, I'm sorry. Well, you came to the right place this time. Would you like to see something interesting? Oops, I forgot to click it. What do you mean something interesting? Take a look at this. It was on top of that pathetically ostentatious desk. Really deep words to describe a desk, but okay. Class 78, Student Registry. It contains profiles for all of us. And Mukuro.
So in other words...
Apparently, Class 78 refers to us. Wait, when we found Mukuro's profile in Kyoko's room.
I see.
That's right, it also mentioned Class 78. This must be where Kyoko got that page. And since the rest of our profiles are listed in here along with hers,
In other words...
there can be no doubt Mukuro was a student here at Hope's Week Academy, just like the rest of us. Mukuro Ikusaba, the 16th student. That must be how Kyoko learned about it. But it seems that Kyoko was in a hurry. Huh? What do you mean? I'm talking about when she stole it. The uneven tearing, the way that paper had been crumpled, she must have been in a hurry. Well, since she snuck in to get it, I'm sure she wanted to get out as fast as possible. But what's your point? She was in so much of a hurry that she only got the first page. Rip, there was a second page. Classic. The first page. Correct. Mukuro's profile actually contains 2 pages. What?
So in other words...
In other words, when it comes to this profile, there was more information about Mukuro that we still didn't have. What kind of information is it? Why do you ask me to explain every little thing? You can read, can't you? It seems to be some sort of detailed report put together by the headmaster himself.
Interesting.
I don't know what kind of man he was, but I'm glad he left us such an interesting clue. I was half listening to Byakuya as I skimmed the report. She's cute though! Why did she die? That's exactly my type. Right there. So don't judge me for picking Junko. This is actually my type this time. Mukuro reappeared suddenly. In the background, an entity floats. Close, but just out of reach. Oh wait, this is old man. Never mind. Change voice. The entity known as the Ultimate Despair. Right now, I can't be sure if this is a single person or some kind of group. Whatever it is, Mukuro definitely has some sort of connection to it. Also, why would you give up being a soldier? Just to, come back here and be a student and bring the Ultimate Despair with you. I have a bad feeling about this. I need to push forward with my research into the Ultimate Despair. And I need to pay attention to Mukuro's behavior too. Yeah, she's the ultimate soldier. She might just shoot everyone. This is just my gut feeling, but I think she's dangerous. Despite the countless battles she must have gone through as a member of Fenrir. When she entered the Hope's Peak, she didn't display any signs of battle, wounds, or scars. Really? But wait, that means that the body couldn't have been Mukuro. Because the Monokuma file says there were multiple old scars and wounds. If Mukuro actually didn't have any damage on her because she's so good, she just never gets hit, then it might not actually be Mukuro who died, but then it could be. I don't know, man. I don't know. That fact alone proves her tremendous skill in battle. Naturally, I want to believe in her. She's one of my students after all. But if I decide she's a danger to the other students, I will be forced to take all reasonable measures. Mukuro was a part of the Ultimate Despair? I don't think there can be any doubt about it now. But that wouldn't mean Mukuro and the Mastermind were allies? So why? Why would they kill Mukuro? Plus, even the Mastermind seemed to be afraid of what Mukuro was capable of. They could have had to take her completely by surprise to kill her like that. Or maybe it means that the Mastermind is even stronger than Mukuro was. Yeah, how did this go down?
What?
What's wrong, Makoto? Huh?
That's fine.
You seem to be lost in thought, but I should probably point out one other thing. There's another important bit of information within the file you should note. What is it? Did you notice the picture in there? A picture of a girl perhaps you've never seen before. Yeah, a girl who seems to be included as part of our class number 78. Well, the body had a mask, right? That should be enough for you to figure out who the girl is. And further information about that girl is included in the file. 5 foot 7 inches, 97 pounds. Yeah. Well, what do you think? What do I think? Are you asking me if she has a nice body? I don't know. She's pretty cute. Pretty petite.
Stop talking.
You hopeless idiot. What I'm trying to tell you is maybe you'll want to keep that in mind for later. Maybe you'll make your way back to the corpse and maybe you'll think, oh, could that mean... Wait, is he trying to say... There's a chance that the body isn't actually Mukuro? Is that what he's saying? Personally, what I'm thinking seems all about impossible, but it wouldn't hurt to confirm, right?
It's all clear now.
That's all I was trying to say. What you do with that information is your business. So I'm back to being Byakuya's errand boy. But the body's gone. We already saw that a while ago. Mukuro's profile has been added to the Truth Bullet section. Oh, and one last thing. It's a bit of advice from me to you, so I just suggest you pay attention. Advice for me? You seem to be getting along with Kyoko quite well. It's not that we're getting along, she's just done a lot to help me. Well, don't put too much faith in her. Huh?
In other words,
The cost of that faith might be more than you can afford. What are you saying? Just what I think. Call it a hunch. A hunch. But my hunches tend to be proven right. The advice is free this time. Take it or don't as you will. I'll keep that in mind, thanks. Are we done? Yup. We're done. Ding dong. Bing bong.
This is a school announcement. Is everyone working hard? Is your investigation coming along nicely? Well then, since you're all giving it your best, your generous headmaster will give you a little hint. For those of you who are interested, please make your way to the gym ASA possible.
What? Now he wants us to give a hint. It's suspicious. There's no doubt about that. This could be a trap. But even knowing that, he said to go to the gym, right? Oh, hey, Hiro. Makoto. Why'd you act surprised? No reason. Are you hiding something? You heard Monokuma's announcement, right? Are you here to find out what he has to say? I just did, actually. I'm on my way out. You already talked to him? What'd he say? Listen, sorry, but I gotta go. What was so... Huh? Hiro, wait. There was no point in trying to stop him. He ran off like a frightened animal. Hiro, it was like he was trying to avoid me. I was hoping to talk to him about the notebook I found in the locker. Has he been hiding something this whole time? Is Monokuma turning everyone against us by giving wrong hints? I think that's what's going on. Oh, it's a one-on-one now, huh?
I am Monokuma!
Hello, welcome, hello! Are you ready for your final hint? Well, it just so happens to be in the envelope on the ground in front of you. The envelope? This must be the envelope. And just so you know, I won't be answering any questions about what you find inside. What? Don't worry, just get on with it. Monokuma's cryptic words didn't make me feel any better, but I picked up the envelope and I opened it. What I found was a single paragraph. Oh boy. Monokuma is just straight up showing us what the truth is. Now I can see why Hiro was so, distraught. This is like literally everyone, and apparently we all know each other, so... Oh boy. It features a bunch of faces I recognize extremely well. It was everyone who'd come to Hope to Speak Academy at the same time as me. Wait, but... There's someone behind Sayaka. She's the only one I don't recognize. Wait, that's not true. I do recognize her. That's right. When Byakuya and I were in the headmaster's room and we looked at that file, Mukuro Ikusaba, then this girl is... Wait, why? Why is Mukuro here with everyone else? And even more than that, just having everyone here pose like this is a weird enough by itself. And we're all wearing matching uniforms. I don't remember anything like this. And now that I'm looking at it, it's not even everyone. Yeah, no, you're the one taking the picture. I'm not in the picture. I'm the only one not there. The picture has all 15 other students, but not me. But I guess that makes sense. After all, I don't ever remember taking a picture like this. I went to junior high with Sayaka, but the first time I met everyone else was when I arrived here at Hope's Peak Academy. So it's natural for me not to be in this picture. But what was definitely unnatural is that everyone else is in the picture. I thought that everyone was like me and didn't know each other till they got here. But if this picture is real, then that could mean... Could it be everyone else and just me? Everyone here except me is... How long are you gonna keep on this rambling soliloquy of yours, Hamlet?
What are you gonna do?
You're kind of getting in the way standing there, you know. So I mean, get out. But
How strange.
I told you I'm not fielding any questions.
Unbelievable.
What kind of mystery would this be if I gave you all the answers? That'd be totally out of left field. Error. I guess that means he's done talking. Damn it. Group photo has been added to the truth bullet section. So in the end, all I found in the gym was even more confusion. And without confusion in mind, I left the gym dejected. How does that count as a hint? It just made me even more confused. Is that what Monokuma was going for? Did he put together a fake photo just to confuse me? You know, considering all the other photos, I'm pretty sure it's not fake anymore. Which would mean everyone but me. Maybe I should just ask everyone directly. That should clear all this up. No, I have to clear all this up. I wonder though, where do you find them then? So this is where you've been hiding. Listen, I was hoping to talk to you. Makoto? Sorry, I gotta go. Oh no, they all suspect me. Is that it? Just because I'm the one missing from the pictures? She ran off so fast I didn't even have time to ask her to stop. Hina, why? Why won't you talk to me? Really, you want me to hunt down every single one of them? Hang on, map time. I'm not gonna legit look for everyone. Alright, so Byakuya's in here, but I'm pretty sure it's just gonna be like the last time. Are you gonna run away from me too? Why does it feel like you're hiding back there? Oh, Byakuya! Listen, do you think we could talk? Byakuya!
That's enough.
I have nothing to talk to you about. Don't talk to me as if we're friends. Hey, Byakuya, wait! What happened? Just because of a picture, is that it? But of course he didn't. He just walked away. What the? Why was he acting like that? Like he was purposely trying to avoid me. Alright, so I get the mastermind's play. The mastermind wants to isolate me, basically. Of all the places Toko could have gone, it was this room. Are you for real? Wouldn't you just die? I decided to visit the biolab one more time. And the first thing I saw when I got there was her passed out again. Huh? Huh? Toko? Oh, she opened one of them and saw blood. Well, rip you. Can we check this out first? Yeah. Toko, are you okay? No. She's not dead, is she? Nope, she seems alive and well. Ooh, it's cold, super cold. It's cold. I think I might catch a cold. If you keep taking naps in places like this, I'm sure you will.
I see.
What? Was I asleep? I must have fainted again. I bet you were standing there staring at me getting all excited, weren't you? No, I wasn't.
Have you reached that certain age?
Oh, then what? Hot and bothered? Straight up horny? Okay, so why did you pass out? I don't know. Last thing I remember was me waking up just now. What did you do to Miss Morose? That's right. Your memory stops and starts. Bingo bazinga. We share some basic knowledge, but our memories are very much separate.
You SOB! Yay!
And don't say it like it's a bad thing, because it's a blessing as far as I'm concerned. Because even if she forgets something, I totally remember.
Yes!
So it's like double the memory. I don't think that's how that works, okay, but okay. It's like downloading extra RAM. No, it's more like half exactly. Genocide Jack. This is a truth bullet?
Huh?
How wild would the next trial be to need this information? But all I want to know right now is where's my little darling? Tell me now or I'll slit your throat. I don't know. I'm sure Byakuya's around somewhere doing his own investigating.
Yes, yes.
By himself? I assume so.
Oh, I'm on fire!
I knew it. I totally knew it. I'm a total pro when it comes to all things master. Anyway, I gotta hurry. I can't even imagine how lonely he must be right now. Oh boy. Watch out, Byakuya. You got her after you. Toko shot off, her eerie laughter echoing behind her. I totally forgot to ask her about the picture. Well, no chance now. Well, there's no point asking Genocide Jack anyway. Besides, I have more important things to do right now. Why did Toko faint? Why do you think? The fridge, it's open. But I'm sure they were all shut tight last time I was here. That must be why she passed out.
Right.
Nah, close. I thought it was Byakuya. She faints so easily. Kyoko!
Makoto.
It's getting late, isn't it? Are you okay?
Indeed.
I'm sorry if I made you worry. No, you don't have to apologize.
Listen.
But listen, about this room. Oh yeah,
It would seem...
It's a morgue. Yeah.
I knew it.
I suspected as much. And Toko must have looked inside the fridge, seen what was in there, and, well, there you have it. You knew she'd fainted?
Indeed.
I was on my way here when Genocide Jack came running past me. I assumed she must have sneezed, but once I got inside, a real reason became clear.
It would seem...
I imagine she came here to investigate, and when she opened the slot there, that's when she saw the body inside and dropped like a bag of rocks. Why is everything gotta be so difficult with her? Anyway, we should close it up. Don't want to leave it hanging open just like that. Yeah, good idea.
Makoto.
Give me a hand with this. Kyoko approached the fridge and hands outstretched. But suddenly she stopped. What's wrong?
Listen.
Maybe we should wait a second before closing it. Huh? How come? Because Mukuro's body is in here. Oh, you can check the body now. Mukuro's corpse. Mukuro's body's inside the fridge.
I see.
Just like every other time, the mastermind probably brought it up here while we were in the class trial. The mastermind did it, but they assumed we wouldn't be doing the class trial over again, I guess.
So...
You may be right. Either way, now I can finally get a good look of the body. Oh, that's right. Kyoko didn't get a chance to check the body during the last investigation.
Makoto.
I need to do my own examination of the corpse as soon as possible. I'm going to find a clue this time, and I'm gonna grab the mastermind by the tail. Okay, so what should I do?
So then...
Why don't you just wait over there? Thanks, Kyoko. That's like Morse code for saying, okay, you're pretty useless right now, so just stay over there. I'll let you know as soon as I'm finished. Just wait over there, that's it? Okay. I should ask Kyoko about that group photo. Was Kyoko even in here? Oh yeah, she's there in the back. After all, she's in it too. Don't let me interrupt your investigation, but I wanted to ask you about something. What is it? It's about that announcement Monokuma made earlier. You mean about a hint or something? I didn't take him up on the offer. Huh? Why not?
Because...
The only reason he'd give us a hint at this point was to confuse us, to cloud our judgment. I can solve this mystery on my own without whatever hints he may have to offer. That's a good point. I wish I could go back and do the same thing, but what's done is done, I guess. Standing here looking at her, I don't think she's hiding anything from me. Is she right? Did the mastermind forge that picture a trap to... Is she right? Did the mastermind forge that picture as a trap to confuse us? That's gotta be it. There's no other explanation. Are we done here? I should ask Kyoko about the group photo? Oh, maybe I need to investigate the body then. It's a fridge meant for storing dead bodies. I can't do it. I can't look inside. Alright, so can we... What next though? On the left side of the fridge, blue lights are on. The right...
It would seem
that the blue light comes on when a slot is occupied. So when someone's in there, the blue light comes on. Looking around, the number of lights that are on, including Mukuro's, there's 9 in all. 9 lights? Yeah, shouldn't there be 10 lights on? Biolab lights has been added to the truth bullet section of the handbook. Are we done? No. I guess we can talk to Kyoko again? No. You know, I think I've seen a tarp like this somewhere else before. Ah, it's the same one I found in the garden tool shed. And if I remember, the tarp, it had a stamp on it that said Biolab. Wait a minute. Did the mastermind pull out a dead body? That's why it was masked? That's why the mastermind would have used the tarp as well. Huh. And that's the tarp that was used to help camouflage the murder in the garden. At some point, someone got it from the biolab and took it over there. I don't think... Well, technically that's correct, but yeah.
Whew.
Okay, Makoto, I'm done. Already? Jeez, that was fast.
Indeed.
Anyone can do work if they go slow. In that spirit, I'll make my report brief. So, did you find anything?
Indeed.
I paid careful attention to the wounds and the traces of blood, and it seems highly likely that the stomach wound and the blow to the back of the head were inflicted after death. Huh? Really? The burnt tissue made things a little difficult, but I'm completely confident in my findings. So that means neither of those were the fatal injury, right? Then what was the fatal injury? Due to the... Yeah. We already know this.
Is that right?
Where does it say they're old? Huh?
Because...
All the Monokuma file says they were inflicted at least several days ago. I guess I don't see the difference.
Wrong.
The difference is immense considering the impression they give.
Listen.
You seem to be equating several days old with simply old. Huh. I never thought of it that way.
However...
But that doesn't quite follow logically. Old wounds, it makes it sound like they've been there forever. Yeah, like even before you come to the school. Like they're not related to the murder. Are you saying they are? But we all got the Monokuma file right after she was killed, right? So if the wounds were at least a few days old, there's no way they could have had anything to do with it.
So then...
But what if Mukuro herself wasn't killed within the last few days? What?
At the very least...
Certainly, you can allow that's one of the many possibilities, can't you? One of many?
Right.
A detective doesn't have supernatural powers. That's no way to predict the answer from the beginning. Instead, the ideal detective begins by imagining as many possible scenarios as they can.
In other words...
They envision these possibilities without prejudice, without bias, using only their logic and common sense. Then, as they investigate, they test what they find against each of these possibilities. Exactly, Kyoko. Why are you even telling us all this? Of course, me telling you this doesn't mean you'll be any good at detective work. But beyond using that to solve this particular mystery, you should keep it in mind for the future. Kyoko's account has been added to the Truth Bullets section.
Hey.
So, if there's anything... Okay, the condition of the body. Come to think of it, there was one thing. Earlier, when I was looking through Mukuro's profile, it listed her height and weight.
So...
5 foot 7 inches, 97 pounds, 31. Yeah. Yeah, she memorized it. What the frick? You remembered all that. They are indeed consistent with the corpse. So then...
Indeed.
And don't forget about the Fenrir tattoo. There's absolutely no mistake.
Indeed.
Our victim in this case is without a doubt Mukuro Ikusaba. Alright.
And?
Is that all you wanted to ask?
So then...
Then it looks like we have no further business with Mukuro's body. Let's get going. It's kinda chilly in here. Oh wait, you're not gonna put the body back? Don't you think it's kinda sad leaving it out like this?
Why?
Sad? Did you forget? She was our enemy once. A part of the ultimate despair. But she still got killed. She's still a victim.
Hey.
Have you ever heard the phrase, you reap what you sow? Well, yeah, but still. I mean, okay, I kinda see Kyoko's point, but then again, if you add the group class picture, I think it's actually really sadder than this.
Whew.
You really are naive, you know that? It's really quite appalling. But she could have abandoned me. She instead decided to help me. So for someone like that, what does it mean to be naive?
So then...
I think we've done all we can do here. Back to our separate investigations, yes. Hold on! I still have one thing to do. Yeah. I need to ask her about the pocketbook I found in the locker. At least you finally did something right, Makoto. If I don't do it now, just do it! Why? Game! Why do you have to kick me out of the conversation? Why don't you just do it? Hey, Kyoko. I did have one last thing. I know I shouldn't, but I feel like I should have to ask.
What?
Go ahead then, out with it. Have you really not seen your dad ever since you got here?
What?
What?
So...
What do you mean? Well, you know, all those lockers on the second floor of
Indeed.
the dorms. I do, yes. But to get into any of the lockers, you need the handbook of whoever the locker belongs to. Actually, I managed to get them open using that emergency handbook.
I see.
The one you found in the headmaster's hidden room.
And?
So, did you find anything worthwhile in the lockers? I found a pocketbook, and after looking through it, I think it must be your pocketbook.
Why is that?
What makes you say that?
Because...
Like I said, only the locker's owner should be able to get into it, right? I can't imagine those lockers belong to any of us. After all, we only got access to that area just recently. What I'm saying is, there's no way I could have had access to any of those lockers. And if I did have a pocketbook, why would I bother putting it in a locker? Everything you just said makes perfect sense, but there was something written inside. It was about the headmaster, about your father.
What? If that's true...
Could that mean that video is real too? Video? Makoto, I think everything is finally starting to fit together to reveal a cohesive picture. Although I'm afraid that that picture might be worse than anything we could have imagined. What are you talking about? I need to go investigate those lockers right now. I need to confirm what you just said with my own two eyes. Oh, let me give you the headmaster's handbook. That way you can...
So...
That won't be necessary. If I'm right about this, I shouldn't have any problem opening the locker with my own handbook. That's fair. I mean, if it is your locker, then your handbook would open it, right? After all, it would seem that it's my locker. Your locker.
Makoto.
If you watch this, it will all make sense. A DVD! And it says Class 78 Urgent Interviews.
So...
I found it in that hidden room after you left.
Anyway...
I don't have any time to explain exactly what I think it means, so just watch it and see for yourself. I think you'll realize exactly what it means. You'll understand why you found my pocketbook in a place none of us have ever seen before. None of this makes any sense right now, but I guess it means there's some important clue on this DVD. Alright, so we're back here to where it all began. I can't believe the last time we were in here was chapter 1. The last time the DVDs were relevant were chapter 1, and it carried all the way to chapter 6. That's actually pretty cool. They should be able to play the DVDs just fine. Well then, I'd better take a look. I took the DVD Kyoko gave me and put it in the player. It said that it was playing, but nothing appeared on the screen. I stared into the black of the monitor. It must have been only a few seconds, but to me, it felt like an eternity. And then, all of a sudden, an image appeared. Sayaka? Well, that wasn't me reading, that was me actually surprised. Took me by total surprise. I hadn't seen Sayaka in who knows how long, and there she was.
Okay then, are you ready to begin?
The voice I heard was of the man positioned on the side of the screen. It was the voice of a middle-aged man.
I do apologize, but I hope you don't mind if I record our conversation. I'm a little slow, you know. I never really got the hang of taking notes while having a conversation.
It sounded like he was trying to make a joke, but Sayaka's tense face didn't move a single millimeter.
So this video is meant to serve as a kind of contract substitute. It's not that I don't trust you guys. It's more like insurance. So please don't worry too much. Now then, let me get straight to the point. There is a chance that you may have to spend the rest of your life here in the school.
Wow, that is straight to the point.
Can you accept that?
You want me to accept that? Damn, I'm sorry, I haven't made her voice in forever. Sayaka was obviously at a total loss. It made total sense. Who would agree to spending the rest of your life in this school? I accept. What?
Thank you. And I'm sorry about all this. Well, I can promise you that I will do everything in my power to keep you safe. As the headmaster of Hope's Peak Academy, I give you my word.
Well, I kind of figured it was the headmaster, but okay, that confirms it. As if on cue, that's where the video cut out. There was a lot I hadn't understood up till now, but this, only this, I simply couldn't comprehend what I'd heard. Because I know how much Sayaka wanted to get out of here. I know how much she wanted to escape. Yeah, there's definitely something to do with amnesia. Why would she say yes to living here for the rest of our life? As I sat there thinking about it, I noticed a sudden light. On the monitor, the video that I thought was finished flashed back on screen. Wait a minute, this is all of our agreements to stay here? My eyes darted back to the screen. And if I was confused before, what I saw next pushed me right over the edge. It's you! Huh? What I saw was me. Impossibly undeniably
So,
me.
Makoto, before we begin, I should let you know that I'll be recording our conversation.
Yes.
Yes! What kind of yes was that? Me and the headmaster were looking at each other. He and I were having what seemed like a fairly normal conversation. But the I in the here and now, had absolutely no memory of it. I had no memory of even meeting the headmaster, much less sitting down to talk to him
Now,
like this.
shall we get straight to the point? Makoto, there's a chance you may have to spend the rest of your life here in the school. Can you accept that?
Yes.
Yes. This can't be real. I said yes?
I'm sorry I'm putting you through all this.
Well, I mean, we don't have much of a choice, do we?
But I promise that as long as you're in this school, I will do everything I can to protect you. As the headmaster of Hope's Peak Academy, that's the very least I can do for you.
Once again, the video cut out. From there, the video repeated the same scene again and again with the others. Damn, this is awkward. Byakuya. Why would the ultimate progeny agree to this? Toko. Hina. Everyone. They all said they agreed to live in this school forever. And then... Kyoko. Her interview with him had been recorded just as clearly. Without a doubt, she had met him. She'd sat down with the headmaster of Hope's Peak Academy, her father. And when he asked her his question, she answered the same as everyone else. She accepted a life within the school. Just as Kyoko's interview was wrapping up, the monitor suddenly went black. Huh? It wasn't just the monitor. The DVD player itself had apparently turned off. Which of course meant that the DVD wasn't playing anymore. What the heck just happened?
Say what?
Oopsie, looks like it broke out of service. That's cheating. What, so it happened to break just now?
Too bad.
Now then, when? Doesn't matter. Failure can strike anytime, anywhere. That's what failure is, right? Failure, my ass. You cut the power on purpose. Well, whatever. Even if I watched the whole thing, it'd just be more of the same. He'd ask them the same question and they all say yes. I couldn't help myself. I let out a huge, exasperated sigh. But as I did, I remembered something. I think you missed the last one. You missed the ultimate despair if he had to cut it out at that point. Oh yeah, this is just Kyoko saying she actually lost her memories. A convenient outcome. Something that seemed too obviously to work in favor of the mastermind. So does that mean I have lost my memory too? What about the others? Have we all forgotten? Or... Interview DVD? Are we done?
For anything that has a start, there has to be an end. And if the end comes, then that means it's time for a fresh start. There is no night that doesn't have a dawn. Although that dawn is totally pitch black.
Wow. Black sun?
There is no storm that won't eventually end. Of course, then that leads to drought.
Alright. This is like beyond pessimism. This is like straight up despair.
But as I said, every end is the promise of a new beginning.
Then again, they are the ultimate despair, so it makes sense.
Which is why I'm sure we'll get to meet again. Because the end is only the beginning. Anyway, let's get started. The beginning of the end of the class trial. Everyone gather once again at you know where.
It's about to begin again. The class trial is going to start. The final class trial. The last time all our lives will be on the line. The last time hope and despair are on the line. I don't have a choice. I have to do this. Okay then, this is the end. I guess I'm the first one this time.
Makoto,
You're early, Makoto.
listen.
Does that mean you feel prepared? Yeah, for now at least. But where's everyone else? Why aren't they here yet?
However,
Don't worry, I'm sure they'll be here soon. And just like she said... Byakuya! Byakuya? They arrived one after another, but they were all in the same state of shock. What? What did we do? What did I do? Hina? Hiro? Silence. And it wasn't any normal silence. It was the deafening silence of fear and suspicion. It was like the first class trial.
You called for me and so I appear.
I'm late!
I'm on fire.
Suddenly no one cares. Like, even you can't break them right now. Strong silent master is so wonderful, so cool, so hot. My lines, I blaze.
Yes!
Now listen, everything will just be fine if you leave it to me.
My beautiful scissors!
With my scissor-sharp scissors in hand, I'll stab and gouge and shiv the master of evil. But I thought you couldn't kill anyone but adorable little boys. If that's what master wants, it can be boy, girl, or anything in between. I can handle it. Not anymore. Where am I? No human language can describe the disappointment I'm feeling right now. Is everyone here? Oh, and wearing our gloomy gust faces, I see.
Well now.
Let's begin.
Thrills, chills, kills!
The final class trial is gonna be slathered in pitch black despair. Climaximum sorrow.
That's fine.
You're right, this is the final class trial, and this time it'll be fair.
How strange.
What do you mean, this time? Stop with all the slander. I'm a bear in good standing, you know.
Unbelievable.
If there was a Mr. Fair Guys Universe contest, I'd take home the tiara every year. I'm gonna win this game super fair and square.
Today,
I'm feeling white.
And I'll make sure everyone watching at home knows that despair is mightier than the hope.
Stop talking.
Why? Enough of your tedious drivel. Begin the class trial already. Why then the hope? Why are you suddenly Jamaican? Sure. Let's begin the trial already. I'll be waiting for you down below.
You guys.
So don't try and run away. Yeah, whatever.
In the name of my family.
This will be over in no time. With an inexplicable confidence, Byakuya was the first into the elevator. One by one, the others followed. I don't like this. I really don't like where this is going. Nobody made eye contact. Nobody said a word. They just disappeared into the elevator.
Hey.
They're all acting odd. Like they're paranoid, suspicious of each other.
However.
But you know why that is, don't you? Yeah, I think so.
However.
Well, you can tell us all about it soon at the class trial. You're right. I'm ready.
So.
Ready to win, right? I mean, we are on the true ending path. I guess we are. Of course. I'm glad to hear you say that. And then Kyoko was aboard the elevator. I started making my way towards the opening, step after step that keeping mo. I'd resolved that this would be the last time. I repeated to myself that there was no fear, no mystery left. I pushed the anxiety down, calmed my trembling body, and finally unsteady legs. I passed the threshold and stood in the elevator. Without the warning, began to descend. Deeper and deeper. Deeper and deeper still. Come on, get on with it! I closed my eyes and sight fell away. All sound too disappeared. Alone, get on with it! There we go. Oh, so we have despair decor now. I like it. What is this, steampunk? This is the final trial site? What do you think? Isn't it just a perfect background for deciding a person's fate?
Yahoo!
It's the long-awaited last stage, the always exciting final boss battle. And I'm gonna sit on this one. I'll just sit right here in the vacant 16th seat.
Thrills, chills, kills!
Well then, let's begin! Alright guys, this was one hell of an episode. Frickin' 2 hours long. At least the raw. So, if you guys want to see how the class trial is gonna go down, then maybe leave a like and subscribe for that. Now I have to go and edit a long-ass video. So, this has been Caffeinified Gaming, and I'll see you guys on the next one.